Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be talking about the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. This is happening on December 21st, 2020, on the winter solstice at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And if you guys follow this channel, if you guys follow astrology in general, if you follow different people who channel for different types of beings, you've heard about this conjunction. This is huge, huge energy. Arguably, I was going to say this is the most powerful event of 2020, but really it's all been a series of powerful events that have been building upon each other and leading up to this moment. So this is the culmination of all of the energies of all these incredibly powerful conjunctions that we have had and the energetic gateways that they've created throughout this year. Of course, we started on January 12th with that conjunction of Saturn and Pluto at 22 degrees of Capricorn, and everything has just snowballed from there. The energy has continued to get more and more intense. We have seen Jupiter and Pluto meet up in the sky 3 times throughout this year, and each time we have received an activation. There has been a gateway of energy, and we've been activated, we've been integrating, we've been purging the darkness to make room for more and more light. And on December 21st, when Jupiter and Saturn meet together at 0 degrees of Aquarius to anchor in fully this new age of Aquarius, we will receive another major activation and major influx of light. This is what we have been preparing for. And you guys have heard me hyping this up and talking about it. I am so excited to be getting into this video and to just see what comes through, see what we can learn about these energies and what they are doing for us. We can absolutely ascertain that we are anchoring in that age of Aquarius. There have been a series of events that have been happening for many, many years, anchoring in this age. We move through, we're in 2 ages at once almost. There's no definitive date as one astrological age ends and another begins. So we've sort of been in that gray area for a little while now, where we've been closing out the age of Pisces and moving into the age of Aquarius. And I'm actually going to link for you the video that I did on the age of Aquarius on my original channel, Intuitive Insights, because a lot of this information, I don't want to spend time going over it. It's all in that video, the astrological ages and all of this. But we have seen throughout 2020 a series of events, which I go over in that video, that have been helping to cement in that new timeline for the age of Aquarius. And when Saturn and Jupiter meet at 0 degrees of Aquarius, that is the final anchoring in of this energy. And we move fully into that energy. We move fully into that Aquarius energy, which is that energy of the collective consciousness, right? Of unity. And so this is a really important piece. And we can see this highlighted by the 2 planets that we're talking about in the sky, right? We have Saturn, who is known as the Great Malefic, or used to be, right? We have a different idea and understanding and appreciation for Saturn in our older age, but in the earlier years of astrology, and some astrologers still today refer to Saturn as the Great Malefic. This is the planet of disappointment, of all of those heavier, more burdensome things. It's not necessarily a curse, but it's not, wherever you find Saturn in your chart is not known to be a happy, carefree, go-lucky kind of area. It's an area where you really have to put in the work, where you chose to learn some serious lessons, because Saturn is all about lessons. Saturn is known for karma, for life lessons, for boundaries and structure and rules, and all of that day-to-day stuff that a lot of us don't like to look at and don't want to deal with. And then we have Jupiter, which is known as the Great Benefic. And Jupiter's energy is exactly the opposite of Saturn's. Jupiter is the planet that is associated with the most blessings. It is a jolly, jovial planet and an energy, an expansive energy. Where Saturn's energy constricts, Jupiter's energy expands. And so we see these two complete opposites meeting together in the sky. And the information that I was channeled regarding these two planets is that what they are doing is healing duality and polarity consciousness. We have been in the process of dissolving this consciousness as we move out of the 3D, three-dimensional reality into the 4D and ultimately the fifth dimensional Earth that we are moving into. And so duality and polarity is a thing that is no longer needed. It does not need to exist. And so we are seeing the merging and the blending of those polarities into that unity, into that oneness. When these two energies come together, we're also seeing Jupiter's energy allowing us to expand past our boundaries, past our restrictions, past old karmic ties, past linear time, really, which is another thing that Saturn's energy can represent. So we are quite literally expanding beyond and moving beyond linear time into a whole new realm, a whole new consciousness. There will be some on this day who are fully activated to the point that they are given the option to be able to ascend fully into the fifth dimensional reality. Many of us, this is what many are calling the first wave of ascension. And so we've been talking about this. There's different waves of people being activated into the ascension process, right? We saw with the 444 portal, with that first conjunction of Jupiter and Pluto, many people, that another wave, the next wave of light workers, the next wave of people being activated and brought into this ascension process. And we've seen the deepening of those activations, with each of these successive conjunctions of Jupiter and Pluto. And there are videos about all of this in my playlists if you guys want more information on these more specific energies. Like we said, they've been building up and leading up to this moment. And so this is the moment where those who were activated long ago and who have been very deeply entrenched in this ascension process and are ready and are holding both the vibration and the consciousness necessary to anchor fully into the fifth dimension are invited to do that. Many of the rest of us will remain here and will receive another activation, another energetic upgrade that allows us to anchor and to plug into that fifth dimensional consciousness, but still remain rooted in this 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional consciousness so that we can continue to grow and expand and help others to grow and expand too. What we are doing is preparing people for the second wave of ascension, which is promising to encompass a much larger group of individuals. The collective consciousness on the planet is raising and will raise at I wanted to say at an alarming rate, but it's not. That makes it sound bad. It will raise exponentially when we have this conjunction on the 21st of December on the solstice. The energy is going to be massive. We are going to be receiving, and I apologize, my nose gets itchy when I channel sometimes. We are going to be receiving a huge, huge influxes of light being information, right? That is going to activate our DNA to a whole nother level, which is going to activate so many latent aspects of our energetic systems. This is coming from the grand central sun. This is coming from other planets, from other galaxies. It's coming from everywhere, from at all angles, basically. And this meeting of Jupiter and Saturn is facilitating. It's like the wormhole. It's the energy surge that allows for all of this energy to come in. It's like the window that we crack open that allows everything to enter. And there is so much. So I got this impression that those who are ready to fully ascend and be fully rooted in the fifth dimension, in the fifth dimensional Earth. And it's a little bit difficult to understand by human understanding and terms right now, because we're still functioning from a 3-dimensional construct or understanding of this information. So it was a bit difficult to wrap my head around as I was receiving information to create this video. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to do it justice in explaining it. Like, each dimension is also a consciousness, right? And so we tap into that fifth dimensional consciousness when we are able to act out of that place of unconditional love, when we are able to hold that vibration and that consciousness. But we move in and out like this, right? It's sort of like we're in alignment with the third dimension, and then the fourth, and then the fifth, and it kind of goes like this as our vibration and our consciousness changes throughout the day, as sort of the things that draw our attention, where our energy is pulled to, where our consciousness, our vibration is pulled to. All of these things, it's sort of like we're going in and out. It's like we have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And so some people, for lack of a better analogy, are going to be able to take both feet and plant them firmly in this fifth dimensional consciousness. And some of those, when those people do that, they may not be fully, those of us still in this third dimensional consciousness may not be fully aware of them anymore. And the way that they may be helping, maybe simply, and simply makes it sound dismissive, maybe assisting fully in that fifth dimensional awareness, anchoring in that light and working on the light grids, working fully in that dimensional energy. I feel as though others will be working with us as guides, those guides that people call on when we channel, the guides that do channel information to me, right? They're just us in another dimension. And so when this first wave of souls moves into that, fully into that fifth dimensional consciousness, they will be communicating with us in the form of guides. That will be some of their roles, is to help guide us from there. A lot of us are going to be guiding people from here. A lot of people watching these videos are part of this wave of souls who will not ascend fully, will still be physically present here, consciously present here, to the degree that is necessary to continue to spread awareness and light and knowledge. And so it's going to be interesting. The thing that I'm feeling though is that those of us who are still here doing this, it'll be much easier for us to stay plugged into that fifth dimensional energy source. It's almost like we're still going to be here, right? Because what is here? But we're still going to be, our consciousness is still going to be focused here to a large extent. However, it's kind of like we're plugged in, there's like an outlet, and the outlet is the fifth dimension. And we are plugged into that outlet and just receiving a constant flow of information and energy from that power source in order to help to guide us and help us to guide others through this process. The goal is to have as many souls as possible ascend into the fifth dimension rather than repeat the third dimensional construct all over again, which is what will happen eventually when the earths fully separate and we have the new earth and the old earth. The old earth will phase out, and everyone who is still needing the lessons and the wisdom and the knowledge from that third dimensional experience will incarnate to on a different planet, in a different, possibly, I don't know where. I was going to say in a different galaxy. I don't really know that. I don't know where that planet's going to be. That's not what's important. What's important is that we are looking to reach as many souls as possible to move into that fifth dimensional new earth. And so this influx of energy is going to be a huge, huge factor in that. I got this understanding that essentially what it is that exists within our hearts, the energy that exists within our hearts, is going to be greatly magnified on this day during this event. And what that's going to do is propel us forward into the timeline of our choosing. And we've been talking about this on this channel for a long time, right? What are you choosing? We have that choice between fear and love in every single moment. And so what have we been choosing? Our vibration is the ultimate deciding factor. Our vibration shows us what we have been choosing. And that is the timeline that we will be moving toward. we will be anchoring in for ourselves and as a collective. And this is really important. Yes, we are anchoring in the Age of Aquarius timeline, but we are also anchoring in an Ascension timeline. And so whatever is in the hearts of the greatest amount of people comprises the collective energy. And that's the Ascension timeline that we will be moving towards. So that's a really important factor as well. And we each have an individual timeline as well that we're going to be moving towards and cementing in. And that timeline is chosen through our vibration as well. And so we really want to be taking full advantage of everything that is being shown to us right now. Every choice, every moment that we get an opportunity to choose love, every astrological event, everyone, these next couple eclipses, the energies that they show us, we want to really be paying attention and tapping into that. We want to be learning as much as we can. We want to be releasing. We want to be forgiving. We want to be surrendering. We want to be opening ourselves up fully to this growth process so that we can grow as much as possible and be fully centered in the vibration that we are choosing. If you would like assistance with this, please reach out to me. I practice a healing modality called Belvaspata. It translates to angelic healing of the heart. It was a modality that was downloaded as a response to the ascension energies, the changing energies on the planet, gifted to humanity to aid in this ascension process. And it can be so incredibly transformational and helpful with navigating these energies, with everything that we're working with when it comes to these energies. So please, please, please reach out to me. My email is in the description box below. Another interesting thing that we have going on during this great conjunction is that we have Mars conjunct Eris in the sign of Aries. And so this is very fascinating because those of you who follow my channel know we talk about Eris a lot. And the conversations that Mars has been having with Eris, Mars, Chiron, True Black Moon, Lilith, and Eris. There's been a lot going on there. And so we look at them as the masculine and the feminine warrior energies. And so on this day that we are anchoring in this new age of Aquarius, this new timeline for our ascension, that we are receiving this huge influx in light, we also have the masculine and the feminine warrior planets conjunct. This is huge. This is once again the polarity, right? The unifying of the polarities. And what are we going to need to call on as we move into this age of Aquarius? More than anything, our inner warrior. We have been receiving an activation of our inner warrior throughout the second half of 2020. We've talked about this with the Mars and Aries transit, with all of these transits of all of the planets just mentioned through the sign of Aries. This has been that activation process. This is sealing in that activation of our inner warrior as well, that balanced warrior, the masculine and the feminine warrior energies combined, working synergistically for this new future, for this new vision, for the earth. And that's what Aquarius energy is all about. It's all about that new vision. It's all about what can we call upon? What has not been done before? How can we make things better? Aquarius is the energy of the humanitarian. It is that unity energy, but it's that unity energy that also understands the beauty and the importance of the individual. So we're really being called to step into our truth, to step into our power, to step into our authenticity, to fearlessly shine our individual light into the world, and to see how our individual lights can add to the collective lights, and how all of these lights shining together with that beautiful diversity can create something even bigger and even better than the individual. So we're looking at the individual, we're looking at the individual's role in the whole. And so from this point forward, this year has also been a year that's been activating our life purpose, getting us more in touch with our life mission, our soul mission, and our soul purpose. And so we are moving into 2021 with our inner warriors activated, ready to pursue that, ready to speak our truth, ready to stand against injustice, ready to create a better world, to see a better world. And this energy is just, it's so incredibly exciting. And I like to fact check myself as I'm going, because sometimes I get going here. But we do also, yes, we have Uranus conjunct Black Moon Lilith as well. And so this is, Uranus is the energy of Aquarius, right? So all of these conjunctions, this is another huge one, because that is the repressed and the suppressed feminine, right? And Uranus is, it's calling us to move beyond that. There's this huge energy of rebellion, right? True Black Moon Lilith is a symbol of feminine rebellion. Uranus is a symbol of rebellion. And so this incredible rebellious energy, especially where the divine feminine is concerned. So we've been seeing this rise of the divine feminine throughout 2020, and really before that even. This has been happening. This is another, it's like all the energies that have been building up over years and years are coming to this crescendo and to this climax. And then it's almost like I'm seeing like this huge explosion of light that propels us forward into 2021 and beyond, where things are just going to be moving at an exponential rate, so fast and so furious. And we are, it's going to be wild, you guys. It is going to be wild in the best and the most beautiful way, but it is all about our sense of freedom, our sense of truth, our sense of justice, really standing up for that, for in ourselves and in the lives of others as well, coming together. That energy of unifying is so incredibly strong. All right, I'm going to start pulling some cards and see what energies we can get from the cards regarding this great conjunction. Clear. So we're going to start out with the Black Moon astrology cards and see what they have to say. Like a nuclear blast of energy is what the visual looked like that I saw in my head. Yeah. All right. Okay. Of course. Ooh, this is really fascinating, you guys. This is interesting. So the first two cards out are Uranus, Genius, and Neptune, Sacrifice. And so this is perfect. And I was going to start getting into this, but it's all, as I said, it's in the Age of Aquarius video that I'm going to link. But this is Neptune, right? Rules Pisces. The age of Pisces that we are moving out of. And then we have Uranus, which rules Aquarius, which is the age that we're anchoring in and moving into. So we are moving out of this age of sacrifice, this age of, there's so much going on with the Piscean energy, with the age of Pisces. It was an age where spirituality became a huge focus. It was also an age where religion became a huge focus. And there was that aspect of control. There's this aspect of victimhood, right? Which is the lower vibration of Piscean energy that we're moving out to. That energy of being the martyr. We are understanding with this new age of Aquarius, we are understanding how to make sacrifices that count. How to make sacrifices where those sacrifices are necessary and where those sacrifices are not. Right? The Genius energy. How can I sacrifice in a smart way? What is worth sacrificing? And how can I sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed without sacrificing my truth, without sacrificing what truly has meaning for me? We're understanding the importance of that understanding, essentially. We know and understand how incredibly important it is to not sacrifice that which has the most meaning to us. But there are sacrifices that are going to be necessary to be made. So I think that's really interesting that those two cards came out together. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Black Moon Lilith card, right? Which is also an energy that we were talking about. This is the energy of transformation. This is the energy of mystery, of intrigue. I'm going to read, actually, I really love what they have to say about Black Moon Lilith in the book. So I'm going to read a little bit about that for you guys. Black Moon Lilith is a dark goddess. She is a ghost to the moon. As a shift in power and consciousness, she symbolizes destruction before creation. The name Lilith means screech owl or night hag. And so this destruction before creation piece, this is what we have been witnessing. And we have seen it happening in earnest ever since that first conjunction of Saturn and Pluto back in January, right? We are destroying. The old paradigm is dying. The old consciousness, the old age, it is dying so that we can give birth, so that we can create this new age. And that process has been scary. That process has looked really different than a lot of people anticipated. I don't think anybody anticipated exactly everything that would go down. Well, some people did, but we won't get into that. But the majority of us could not have anticipated all of the strange twists and turns that 2020 has taken. But this is the process that we have been. This is the system that we have been dismantling. This has been the destruction before the creation. And so this energy is extremely powerful because we're not done yet, right? The old system has not completely crumbled. We are getting ready to build something new, but first we have to completely destroy and dismantle everything old that wasn't working. And so we can expect to see the beginning of this Age of Aquarius as that process of continuing destruction. Lilith is the ancient goddess of mystery and transformation. And I'm not going to read you all the history. Lilith is a feminine force of command and strength. She represents the powers we hold in secret. And that I'm feeling very much, especially next to this Neptune card, which Neptune can represent illusion, mystery, secrecy as well, right? And so I am feeling that rise with this conjunction also of these powers that we hold within us, right? As we are stepping more into our empowerment, and not just in terms of knowing how to stand up for ourselves and how to be assertive, right? Which is huge and we have been working on. But this is going beyond this. This is like our soul's powers, our soul gifts, our spiritual gifts, our true power as spiritual beings, as these creator God beings, really stepping into the knowledge of that, and that being revealed to us, a deeper level of that being revealed to us, a deeper level of our own souls. And as this, I'm feeling this almost as for some of us, it's like the darkness of our souls being revealed so that we can transmute that into light. All aspects of our souls. I feel like for some of us, we've been holding back certain spiritual gifts because of things that we associated with aspects of our souls that we were not comfortable with, or things that we acted out on in past lifetimes. There's fear. There's fear because of that, because of the mystery of that, because of some of these darker leanings or yearnings within our nature, which is really interesting that energy is coming up. So yeah, some serious shadow energies being triggered as well, right? And think about it. If we are triggering more light, right? Light is information. If we're bringing in more light, we are also going to be transmuting even more darkness. And so it makes sense that some of this darkness is going to be coming up as well, so that we can really truly see it and confront it and accept it. So yeah, that's interesting. Yes. This card indicates a call to wildness, even subversion. Lilith is the evocation of what may or may not be there. She can manifest as madness or self-realization. Lilith represents a refusal to submit. It is not a good time to give in, even when the path seems a rough one. Lilith is a subdued power and complicated magnetism. Lilith remains awake while the rest of the world is asleep. She is the dark thoughts that enter our consciousness just before we fall asleep. Black Moon Lilith suggests female rebellion. She can represent we don't want to go there, because that's minor stuff. That's not what we're dealing with right now. Through Lilith, we discover creativity and the beauty that can exist in the darkness, as long as we keep our own demons in check and under our rule. Yeah, so I'm liking that. I'm liking that energy. And then we do have the Pisces card on the bottom of the deck as well, or the 12th house card, which is associated with Pisces. But we're going to see, and of course, coming out, we got the Mars card, Force. That Mars energy coming through heavy as well. This is that, like, the perfect recipe for rebellion right here, really. With the Black Moon Lilith and the Mars card together, with the Uranus card, this is, and the Neptune card, which also represents our higher soul, the collective consciousness, like we were talking about, right? So this huge purging of the collective consciousness. And we are going to see this, right? We're talking about everyone, this mass ascension, right? And many people who are not ready to fully ascend because they haven't even woken up yet. And so this is like the major wake-up call. We've seen different levels of souls being activated throughout 2020, right? And so this is a massive wake-up call. So a huge percentage of the masses who have not awakened to the truth yet will be receiving this huge influx of light, energy, and information that is going to trigger that process. And that process, as we have been seeing, right, we've been seeing the dark night of the soul already in the world, is going to be an even more intense dark night of the soul for a lot of people. And so there is going to be a lot of this energy, right? This Mars energy in its lower vibration as well, which is all of that masculine. We've got the feminine and the masculine energies right next to each other here, which is interesting. And there is no Eris card in this deck. So true Black Moon Lilith may be the closest thing we have to Eris as well. So it's almost like we have Eris and Mars right next to each other here, or the closest equivalents, which I'm just noticing, which is really interesting. But it's like that masculine. We're going to see different demonstrations of this masculine energy, just like we're going to see different demonstrations of Black Moon Lilith and Eris's energy. So there's going to be the lower vibrational, which is the people who have this warrior activated within them and don't know what to do with that energy. So they're fighting everyone and everything. We're going to see a lot of tempers rising, a lot of tempers flaring, a lot of that fiery, passionate energy that doesn't know where to go. And that's why it's so important that we stay rooted in our light and we be that guiding light for people, helping to show them another way. This Black Moon Lilith energy, we can see the lower vibration of this energy is going to be present as well. This is going to be manipulation. This is going to be the feminine lashing out in all different types of ways, clashes between the two. And so there's going to be a lot of that, but there's going to be the higher expression of that energy too, which is that assertive energy, that strong, confident energy, that energy of true leadership, that energy of true innovation, of rebellion with a cause. That is the higher vibration. That is the Uranus. That is the Age of Aquarius energy. But it's going to be a learning process as we figure out how to navigate that energy. And then we have the Earth energy coming through, stability. And underneath that, on the bottom of the deck now, we have Libra, balance. And so this is, I think, guidance for us as far as what we need in order to move forward. We want stability and we want balance. This is what we've been learning, right? This is another thing we've been learning throughout 2020 that we're really going to want to call on, is this sense of stability and this sense of balance. Perfecting that, utilizing that, calling on that. This is also the energy of the anchoring in, right? The anchoring in this timeline, these timelines. Firmly anchoring that into the earth, right? And then with the balance, that we're also seeing the balance, right? The balance of the masculine and the feminine, the balance of the dualities, the merging of the dualities. And then underneath that, we have the Saturn return card. Age. And so your Saturn return is when Saturn returns to the place in your chart that it was when you were born. Every 29 to 30 years, this happens. And it's a huge coming of age. And so this is like a huge coming of age for planet Earth right now, as we are all being asked to step up into a higher expression of who we are, right? We're stabilizing this Libra energy. We're out of this wishy-washy back and forth kind of energy. We are in, and we are stabilizing that as well. We are not teeter-tottering anymore. We are balanced and we are focused. And yes, this is that new paradigm that we are creating. This as we become older and wiser, right? And as we heal, Chiron, healing, as we heal as a collective, and we collectively raise the vibration of the planet as we heal together. And then the North Node. Oh, I love it how these two, and these are shuffled. This is not meant to be like this. But we have the North Node and the South Node coming up back to back too. So I really love that. That's life's purpose and life's debts. So this is the old energy that we're moving out of as we move into the new energy, right? We're clearing out all these old soul contracts, all of this old karma, all of this stuff from the past, all of these past energies, so that we can become focused on what it is that we are ready to create. Where is it that we're wanting to go? It's not so much, we remember where we've been so we don't have to repeat the lessons of the past, but we move toward where it is that we're going. And if we don't, we have Grand Cross Provoker here. Situations will continue to come and move us forward. There is going to be a lot of intense energy. Like we're not in a place where we can rest on our laurels anymore. And we haven't been throughout this entire year of 2020. Even if we have been in quarantine, locked down in our houses at certain points, we've been pushed to evolve. It's actually been more intense. This time that we've had spending alone with ourselves, really coming face to face with ourselves. And these energies are going to continue to push us any way they need to get us to move out of this old energy and into this new energy, to fully embrace this new energy, to fully embrace this transformation. All right. I'm trying to think if there's any other cards that I want to pull for you guys. Yeah, I'm being called to the Mystical Shaman Oracle. Clear. So we're going to pull a couple mystical Shaman Oracle cards as well. Let's tell us about this great conjunction. Tell us about this great conjunction. Okay. Interesting. We had the sacrifice energy coming up twice here, which is really fascinating. So we have the Sorcerer, which this is the shadow. These are our shadow energies. This is also, once again, I'm getting that energy of those who misused their energy in the past. And this came up, I don't know if I actually said anything about it or not, but it came up when I was channeling. I can't remember what I was channeling for, but I got this feeling as though some of us in many past lifetimes misused our gifts and our powers, which is part of the reason why we're afraid to step into them in this lifetime. But part of what being here present on this earth right now is doing is it's allowing us to make up for all of that by using our gifts for the highest good in this lifetime of all lifetimes when it matters the most. And so a lot of us are clearing, just by being here and being present and doing what it is that we're doing right now, we are clearing out so much of this old energy. But this card is really calling us to be aware of our motivations, of our thoughts, of our actions. Are they aligned with the light, or are they aligned with, I hate to say the darkness, but what are they in alignment or not, basically? Are they for the highest good of all, or are they not? Are they serving to others, or are they serving to self? What is the energy? And understand when we have these darker impulses and energies, what they are teaching us. So that's that shadow, that energy that we were feeling, right? That shadow, that dark. It's like those dark parts of us coming up to the surface, and we may be afraid of those parts of us, but we have to own those parts of us. In order for us to fully step into our power, to fully step into our gifts in this lifetime, we have to look those darker aspects of ourselves in the face with love, right? With love and compassion, and embrace them and bring them, integrate them back into us. and not be afraid that that integration process is going to harm us. We do not have to be victim to that energy anymore. We have grown and evolved, and we are love. If we are fully anchored in the vibration of love, we can integrate these aspects of ourselves without fear. So that message just really wanting to come through strongly. And then we have the owl, which is all about the wisdom, right? And the sacrifice. And so the sacrifice in this deck is all about, what is the great sacrifice? What is it that we are willing to sacrifice? And what is the offering? I feel like they wanted to get back to that point with the sacrifice, because there was something I was missing, and that's what it is. The greatest thing that we can offer is our hearts. The truth within our hearts. We can offer our hearts, offer ourselves. This is the energy of us getting to the place where we are ready to offer ourselves in service to the light. Right? That's profound. What are we willing to sacrifice? What is it that we are willing to offer? What is the only thing that matters? Our hearts. We offer our hearts in dedicated service. That's the energy of it. Okay, so we're moving out of this energy of the small sacrifices, the sacrificing who we are, the sacrificing our own happiness, our own well-being, right? The martyrdom energy. That's the energy we're moving out of. Any energy that enables another, that enables this victim perpetrator codependency cycle. We're moving out of that energy. That's not the kind of sacrifice. That's the old age, the old energy of sacrifice. This new energy of sacrifice is understanding what we have to give, the truth of what we have to offer, and offering that without hesitation to source, offering the best parts of ourselves to humanity, in service to humanity. It's those greater sacrifices that we make for that greater cause. That's the kind of sacrifice. It's a change in perception around the word sacrifice and what that means. And understanding that when I offer my heart in loving service, I open myself up. By giving that, I receive everything back. I receive the entire kingdom, right? Because the kingdom exists within me. So when I give that, I receive that back. So it's offering that without expectation from that place of pure love and devotion, and receiving everything back in return. But not offering it because I know I'm going to receive. Offering it because that is the truest aspiration of my heart. And I want to read the owl for you guys real quick. And just look. There's something else there that I want to read for you guys. Owl is the master of the night. She can see situations with perfect clarity, more so when it is dark, and is able to discern truth when others are sightless. She helps you find your light and your lightness in the darkest moments of your life, and to embrace the night as your ally. Owl can bring you messages from the invisible world. She opens your ears so that you may hear the voices of the ancestors, and you may acquire their wisdom and make it your own. Look around you, notice every detail, and find the hidden messages brought to you by Owl. Do not shoot the messenger. Be grateful to the friend who shows you what you have not wanted to see until now. Observe all the facets of the diamond without judgment. Remember that the facets you dislike are often mirrors of the parts of you that you do not want to recognize. Do not be afraid of the truth, as it will become your compass. So this is that energy of the truth being revealed, of the mass awakening, of people's eyes being opened to the painful and terrifying truths that they have thus far not wanted to see, right? That's the information, the light. Light is information. However, light and love exist now as we merge dualities into unity as one. So as we invite that light and that truth and that information in, we also invite that love in. And we allow that love to heal us. When we can call in that love, when we can look upon an ugly truth from a place of love, that softens it, that makes it easier to withstand. Because we have hope, because we have faith in the face of that truth. And that is so incredibly important, but it is incredibly important to see all facets of that diamond, as it says, right? All truths, all realities, all distortions. Our understanding and our perception is expanding and expanding and expanding. And we want to be able to continue to rotate our head, just like that owl, to take it all in. And this is also about those messages, right? As we become, as our soul gifts unlock more and more, as we step more into the truth of who we are, we become open to more and more communication from the unseen realms. And I want to close with a couple secret language of light cards. Clear. Let's get some energy for this great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. Energy for this great conjunction. Right. Meditation coming out. So we got some guidance here. Meditate. If you are attempting to connect with these otherworldly beings, with your ancestors, with your own higher self, right? Meditation is going to be key. So really, I mean, on this date, this December 21st, it is a great idea to meditate, to receive that light. There are going to be many mass meditations going on. There's going to be a mass meditation going on the 21st. There are going to be mass meditations, I believe, during these next two eclipses. And so when I find out the information on those mass meditations, I will add that into a link here for you guys. I'll actually, as I'm posting and uploading this video, I will look up those meditations for you. And there are guidelines as far as that mass meditation and how to utilize that. Those guidelines include bringing down that violet flame, securing your own aura with that violet flame. There are lots of different energies present and working with this, and not all of them are energies dedicated to the light, right? And so we want to protect ourselves. We want to protect our energy when we are plugging into a massive energy grid like this. But it is going to be so incredibly powerful that we all meditate, that we all use our frequency, right? And lend our frequency to help to shift us into that optimal timeline for our ascension process. This is so incredibly important. And so, yeah, I feel like above all else, they wanted me to mention that mass meditation. We did a beautiful mass meditation on my original channel for the 444 portal together. It was incredible. And so this is going to be like the energy of that, except probably even more intense, if that's possible. That was intense energy. Then we have Soul Song. I love this. And we talk about sensitivity on the bottom of the deck. And we talk about the soul song all the time, right? When I talk about the soul song, my interpretation of the soul song is when we are at our optimal frequency, we emit our purest vibration, our purest and most authentic vibration. And that energy exudes out into the world, and people can feel that. That draws people to us like a magnet. People sense that. It's almost like that, what was it, like the Pied Piper that plays the little flute? And everyone comes running. It's like that energy. Those who are meant for us, those things that are meant for us, those people, those experiences, as we emit our soul song, our truest vibration, they come flooding in, they come flowing towards us. And so I see it, the soul song, this is like what we talked about with the truth that's in our hearts will be magnified during this event. And so our soul song will explode out into the universe. And that will begin attracting the reality to us, the experiences to us that we are ready for at this time. I want to see what it says in the book here. Your soul emits a beautiful song. Think of it as pulsing light moving in rhythm with the universe. Your soul travels through light and is the background music of your life. Even if you can't hear your song with your physical ears, know it exists. We know animals hear sounds we can't. Your song is always resonating throughout the universe, along with the music of the spheres and the sound of the universe, the sound the universe made when it was born, the greatest song of all, Om. You can tune into it through your heart and your throat. Be willing to live your life to your highest. From your highest, most aligned, most loving perspective. The next song or piece of music that moves your inner world will help you to tune into your soul song. Or you can go out into nature. So this is about connecting with your soul song. But like I said, we're going to be connecting with it majorly. Our soul song is going to be transmitted on a massive level during this event. Yeah. And then sensitivity. So this speaks to the fact that we are increasingly more and more sensitive to energy, to vibration, to each other's soul song. So trust what it is that you're feeling. Trust what it is that you're intuiting. Trust that inner guidance system. All right. And now I think we're going to close with a Lightworker Oracle. Clear. Let's get one closing card from the Lightworker Oracle for this great conjunction. And they gave us two. So we have the dark night of the soul. We've gone into this. We've talked about this. And then we have the eternal now. So being fully present in the now. That's what they want us to remember. They want us to remember that this dark night of the soul is a normal part of the awakening process. It does not mean that anything's wrong. And it will not last forever. And then and it leads the way, right? Like, what are they holding? The light. Right? We purge the darkness to make room for more light. And they want us to be present in the now, always present in the now moment. The now moment is the only moment that truly exists. And this is how we navigate time, right? Is through that now moment. And then the family of light. We were talking about this, calling in the family of light. This is that knowledge, that understanding for those of us who felt alone, who always felt different, who always felt disconnected, like we didn't really belong. It's because we belong to a much larger family. It's not necessarily a lineage, a family that we were born into. This is our greater family, our soul family, which our soul song, as it emits its frequency, calls in. And there's tons of your family of light that exist in the unseen realms too. So you can always call on them. And then the Merkaba protection, spiritual protection. This is also what we're talking about, right? Protecting ourselves, protecting our energy, protecting our aura. And how incredibly important that is right now. As we up level to this next level of spiritual vibration. As we begin traveling more, right? Astral travel, we really want to protect ourselves. And then the unplug from mass consciousness. This I'm closing with because it is so important also. We want to, mass consciousness is trying to suck us into a certain understanding, a certain interpretation, and a certain timeline, right? That timeline of fear. And so we want to unplug from this, and we want to tune into our own internal guidance system and what it is that that's teaching us, what it is that that is showing us. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. I love you guys so very, very much. I appreciate you so very, very much. There are links down below to donate to my channel if you feel so moved to do so. I'm going to attach, as I said, the meditation link. I'm also going to attach a link to the Age of Aquarius video for anyone who wants to watch that, as well as maybe a link to my playlist for the Astrological Ascension energies, because there's a ton of videos that I mentioned in there, and they're all very important. So just check any and all of those out that resonate with you. So much intense energy that we're navigating right now. If you would like a personal reading, if you would like an energy healing, any of the services that I offer, email me. I would absolutely love to do that for you. If you liked this video, like this video. It helps to get more people, get this video out there, get more people to see it, get more people to hear it. It's a wonderful support for this channel. So if you can't donate, understand that a like, a comment, a share, a subscribe is as good as a donation. And it is also very, very, very appreciated. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. And I am so grateful to be sharing this journey with you. This is an incredibly powerful surge of energy that we're going to be experiencing, and I'm so excited to see what else is revealed, right? Because we only see as much as we're meant to see. Some of it we're meant to simply experience and be present for. That's where this Eternal Now card comes. Just being present for whatever happens, but knowing that we have each other, right? We are a collective. We do not do any of this alone. You are not alone. That's the final message that I want to close with, is if you are feeling alone right now, you are not. You are in the midst of calling in your soul family, your soul tribe, but know that you absolutely have a home here. There are so many of us that are connecting in so many different ways. Even if we can't connect physically right now, we are all here. We are all doing this together, and we can support and love each other through this process. I will talk to you all soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.